Greetings, programs. Welcome to Tarkoth Gaming. We have 6.1 patch notes that have dropped. They are the preliminary. They are not the full ones. We won't get that till Monday, probably when we have server maintenance. But we're going to go over these, and hopefully we find some good nuggets and some information, and let's dive on into them. Okay. Final Fantasy 14 Patch 6.1 New Found Adventure, going to be releasing April 12th. Here they show us information that's going to be specific to certain expansions like A Realm Reborn, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, Endwalker. I got playable content, new quests as of Endwalker. Looks like we're going to be, Warrior of Light's going to be having a chat with Tataro down in Revenant's Toll. Y'shtola is going to be back in Old Charlayan, talking with the Forum. First quest is New Found Adventure, and the rest, of course, are hidden. Looks like we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 quests. All right. Lots of content, lots of story to dive into. Hopefully this is pretty meaty, as it's basically the start of a new story. So hopefully they really establish what our new threat, where we go from here is. So maybe we get the Scions back together. Also, an Endwalker Chronicles of New Era quests have been added. This is Miss of the Realm, our 24-man Alliance raid. Looks like we're going back to see, back to Mordona and see the people that were involved with the Crystal Tower series. Starts with a mission in Mordona, and looks like there's 4 quests. Also with Endwalker, new role quests have been added. You'll have to finish all of the role quests that have come with Endwalker. That's the DPS, melee DPS, caster, healer. So once you get all those finished, then you get this set of quests that ties everything up, and we have an ending to that quest series. Looks like we got 4 total quests for that. Also an Endwalker coming, new chapters added to New Game Plus. So right off the bat with 6.1, we're getting all of our Endwalker quests brought back for New Game Plus. So if you want to replay those, or you skipped through the story just to get to the end, you can now go back to do all those story bits at your leisure. With 2.x, with the Realm Reborn, certain main scenario quests for Realm Reborn have been revised. Players progressing through Realm Reborn. If you're currently undertaking a quest in Realm Reborn, please refer to the duty list for the journal. You may find that quest information has been updated. If the quest has been changed, you'll be asked to abandon and accept a newly designated quest. So they're cleaning some stuff up, especially down at the end of A Realm Reborn. Updated quest Operation Archon and the Ultimate Weapon. So they are messing with like Cape Westwind, Praetorium, Castrum at the end, because they're splitting them up into separate parts. So they're adjusting the story for that. For Realm Reborn, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, Endwalker, when playing as a different character in instant quest battles, actions on the hotbar can now be rearranged. So there's times where you will be a different character, like Kian in Stormblood. They'll have their own hotbar. You can now rearrange and put the stuff where is most comfortable for you. I'm not sure if that was a big deal for a lot of people, but it's a nice thing to have if you wanted to feel more comfortable in that little moment that you're in that character's shoes. So with Shadowbringers, character portraits have been implemented for battle dialogue during instance quest battles. That's pretty cool. So if someone's saying something, you'll have their portrait with their little quest bubble, so you can see, oh, that's Y'shtola's talking to me right now. Leaves. The report area for a leave will now be displayed in the information section of the leaves journal entry. Cool. So when you're all done with what you need, it'll say, oh, time to go back to this person to turn it in. Following adjustments have been made to journal entries for Fisher Fieldcraft leaves. Entries will now display the method of fishing required. So if it's just regular fishing or spearfishing, Area where the desired catch can be found will display next to location. Very nice. A lot of times I'm having to look up a third-party site to find out, okay, where's this fish and where can I get it? So this will be nice that it'll tell us where we need to go. Selecting map will display the desired catch's approximate location, so it won't zoom in specifically on where it is, but a kind of general area, and hopefully what fishing hole you'll need to be looking at. So that's good. Fates. New items are available for exchange for bi-color gemstones from Gemstone Trader NPCs in each area in Endwalker. This is something they did with Shadowbringers. Every patch brought a little something new, so you kept going back to those fates. And it probably won't be all the all the zones for the fates. It'll probably just be a couple here, a couple there. As the patches go on, those locations will all be fleshed out. Rewards for the Excitedtron 6000 have been adjusted. Again, that's something that they do every patch, so they try to keep it fresh, put new stuff in there, so people keep going back into that content. The animation for Decipher action has been changed. Yay! Because, you know, I try to zoom in real close because I want to see what I'm doing when I am hit Decipher on those maps. The new charge symbol options have been added to company crests, so it looks like they have some fun new options here. I got a Spirigan Bomb, Chocobo, Cactuar, so you can add that to your company crest. New craftable items have been added to the company workshop. We got a new skin for houses. Looks like it's the old witches gonna lure in Hansel and Gretel and all the Lalafell and cook them and eat them house. Also known as the bait shop, in my opinion. Come on, little pretties, I have candy for you, and then get in my oven where I will eat you. The following additions have been made to subaquatic voyages, new areas, new items, and the max rank is being increased from 90 to 95. So shout out to my free company, Iron Chef. I know he's mad about going into doing submersibles every single day. Really been getting our free company funds set for the next bit of content, which is new plots of new land in the Imperium can now be purchased. My free company is looking to move to Ishgard, so the submersibles have been helping fund this potential move. Hopefully we can nab a lottery and get moved over to the new area. All plots in the Oceania data center are now available for purchase. Very awesome. So there's going to be a big rush when this patch launches down in the oceanic data centers. Everybody's going to probably be wanting to get a house. So remember, it's just it's a 5-day window. You don't need to rush to get to it. Take your time, find the spot that you want, put your lottery request in for the plot you want, and good luck on getting it. Lottery system for the purchase of land has been implemented. We've talked about that. You got a 5-day window to put that request in, and I believe there's a 4-day window to claim your land or get your money back. As of 6.1, all plots in all wards will be subject to the lottery system. So there's no differentiating. This is an old plot, it's old system. Everything's moving into this lottery system, which I think is good. Also with 2.x, every housing district will now have dedicated wards for private and free company estates. So I feel that's pretty good too. A ward is going to be specifically for free companies. There'll be set aside stuff for free companies, set aside stuff for individuals. To prevent the reselling of plots, players must now remain in a free company for a minimum of 30 days before they are allowed to purchase a free company plot. So this will help with the trading of free companies and their houses. It won't eliminate it entirely, but it's going to turn people away when they have to be part of the free company for 30 days before they can get the house that they just bought from the free company. So, yeah, good times. Players must meet this requirement for plots being sold via the lottery system. Designated price of plots will no longer be reduced over time. Again, that's not going to be a thing anymore. especially with the lottery system. It's just going to be there, and if you want to get it, put in your lottery request, and good luck on getting it. Furnishings from the Final Fantasy XIV furnishing design contest have been added, and they've added quite a few cool things here. I love this cherry blossom bed. That is pretty cool. I love the chalkboard. The clock, chocobo clock, is pretty cool as well. This lights fixture is actually pretty stylish. I like it. I might need to get that when I can hopefully get a house. I'm going to try to get one in the Goblet since my free company's moved from the Goblet to Ishgard. I'd like to have a central house among the capital cities, so I'm going to try to get one in the Goblet myself. Outside stuff looks like we have garden stuff here, trees, a bench. I'm not sure, is this fake snow that we can have there so we can, looks like wintertime in our house at all times. Looks like we have a cool new fireplace, inside fountain, which is interesting. We have a gazebo. All the good stuff happens in gazebos, right? New orchestrion roles have been added. This happens every patch. New content comes out. New music comes out with it. So get those orchestrion roles if you are a collector. Location and duty names previously omitted to prevent spoilers will now be displayed. So even Square and Final Fantasy XIV are saying, hey, it's been 4 months. Spoilers are done now. So they're going to show all that stuff on the duty names. So no more shenanigans as far as spoilers there. New aquarium fish have been added. Cool. I'm not a big aquarium guy or fish guy, so for those that are, awesome. You got new options for your aquarium. New paintings have been added. Cool. New seed for flower pots have been added. So if you like flower pots and putting foliage in your house, more options for you there. The Mandeville Gold Saucer. New prizes are available for purchasing MGP. Looks like the pod is going to be part of the Gold Saucer, so you can get it pretty easily if you've stocked up on MGP. I'm going to be working on that. This is a mount that I must have. I'm not a big mount guy. I collect them as I can. But this is one that I absolutely must have. I definitely want this one. The following additions have been made to Triple Triad. New cards have been added. New NPC opponents have been added. Awesome. Expansion on Triple Triad is always fun. For those wanting to get the card mount, that means you have more options of hitting that. It's like 325 cards. So you get to that and hey, you got yourself a new mount. Miscellaneous. In Shadowbringers, the following updates have been made to Hrothgar character customization. New hairstyle options. So I got a little slider to show the back. And then show the front. Back. And front. And it looks like to accommodate these new hairstyles, what they had to do is basically hide the ears. As you see in this picture down below, in the character customization and character creation, the ears are pretty prominent. To get these hairstyles to actually function as they wanted, they had to basically hide the ears for them to happen. So, but they're making progress towards customizing your Hrothgar as you want to make as you see fit. So that's pretty cool. New hairstyle options have been added for male and female Viera. So one thing that looks like they're not having to do with the Viera is hide the ears for the Viera. They're pretty prominent as well there, but they can make the hairstyle fit around it, where with Hrothgar they're having a difficult time, so they're just hiding the ears for the Hrothgar so you can have your hairstyle forward, back, forward, back. Looks pretty sweet. Duty support. A system that allows solo players to tackle duties with a party of NPCs has been added. So this will function in A Realm Reborn, Shadowbringers, and Endwalker. With Shadowbringers and Endwalker, that's the trust system. But with Realm Reborn, it's this duty support. You can use this system to progress through the main scenario with a party of NPCs. Yeah, so it's going to be random NPCs for some instances, and scions or NPCs that are logical for certain dungeons and trials as they would appear for you. So if you want to get through all the main story instances and dungeons, you'll be able to do that solo if you choose to. Those Realm Reborn characters aren't going to be leveled up, not like a trust. They'll be static, but that is an option and help people get through the content so they're not waiting 20-minute queues on a DPS. I think this is awesome. I can't wait to start a new character myself to try this out. Again, this is only for the instance content that is part of the main story. So if you're going to a side dungeon that's not part of the main scenario, this option will not be available to you. This is only for main story involved dungeons and instances like Titan, Garuda, Coppermill Mines, things of that sort. The ones that are off the beaten path, Dismal Darkhold, Orm Vale, those are optional dungeons. So this unfortunately will not help you there. Accessing the duty support system from the duty entrance. The duty support icon will display above the entrance of applicable duties. So you can say, oh, here's a dungeon. I can use the duty support. I can do this solo. Accessing the duty support system. So it's a new UI element. They're kind of adjusting, incorporating trust into this as well. So you can see there's 3 buttons here on the top left. This first one's a Realm Reborn. You see all the dungeons that can use this duty support system here. The second tab is Shadowbringers. That's going to be where trusts come back into play, and Endwalker, where trusts are available for you as well. So first select duty support under duty in the main menu. List of available duties will be displayed under the window that appears. Duty fighter and trust menus can be accessed by pressing the appropriate button at the bottom of the duty support menu. Certain duties allow you to switch out NPCs in your party, which is the trusts. This is indicated by a message that displays underneath your party members. So like it shows here, Homemaster switch. You can change out the guard captain or other characters for other applicable party members for that trust system. Oh, duty support can be used to complete the following duties. So again, Realm Reborn, everything that is story related. So from Sestasha to Praetorium, Porta Decumana. We have Shadowbringers, which is going to have all the trust for all the dungeons here. Endwalker trust for the dungeons, and the Mother Crystal, which is part of is one of the trials. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the trust system. Scenario mode, which allowed players to progress through main scenario dungeons from patch 5.0 to 6.1 with a party of NPC allies, has now been incorporated into duty support. Just like I said, if it's all going to be in one UI element, which is going to be labeled as duty support, so you'll have the characters that they allow you to have for a Realm Reborn, and then the trust system where you can level up characters for Shadowbringers and Endwalker. In Endwalker, the Unending Codex has been added, getting players easy access to a compendium of vital information about in-game terminology and characters. So if you're a lore hound, you're going to want to try to collect this. I'm not sure if it's a collection system, but if you want to go back and learn a little bit more about the NPCs and things that have been going on, this Unending Codex will have information available. So I'm going to be looking into that and see what's available there. Looks pretty cool. Realm Reborn, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, and Endwalker. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the Wondrous Tales. Prizes available in exchange for Chloe's gold certificates of commendation. Silver certificates and bronze certificates have been adjusted. Message that displays when attempting to hand over a Wondrous Tales journal that has less than 9 duties completed has been changed. Okay. So they're warning you, hey, you haven't actually finished the book. You're not actually going to get anything unless you have a line. So that's good. So you don't actually turn in over a book that's not complete. Certain tasks within Wondrous Tales journals will now allow you to select from more than one duty to earn a seal. Completing any of the duties listed in that square will mark it as complete. Oh. So they're going to have... Okay, for example, the objective previously labeled Binding Coil Bahamut turn 1 has been changed to simply Binding Coil Bahamut, and the completion of any turn will be counted for this objective. That is pretty cool. I like that. So you can kind of choose, hey, you know what? I don't want to do Binding Coil Bahamut, turn 1. I want to do turn 4 or turn 5 where you have Twintania. So that's pretty cool. You have choices now. It's not as static. There's some options now. So this looks like it's going to affect all the normal mode of the raid dungeons in Realm Reborn, Heaven's Ward, and Stormblood. So if you get an Omega Deltascape, you can do any 1 through 4. That's awesome. I like having options. The following additions and adjustments have been made to Full Hollows. Leviathan ended back in 5.5, so that's gone. We're now getting Ultima's Bane, so a not reimagining, but a buff up to level 90 for Ultima. The first big, extreme that we had. I mean, we had the extremes for Ifrit, Garuda, and Titan, but having Ultima come back and getting people a chance to really sink their teeth into this content as it was when it first launched is pretty cool. I really like that. Etheric Boom, here we come. Different Unreal trials will be available in each major patch. So with 6.1, this is the restart. 6.2, they're going to change the Unreal to another trial. 6.3, 6.4, each get their own trial. New items are available in exchange for faux leaves. Looks like we get a new mount. It's the troll skin for the Gobu. That's pretty cool. I definitely want to get that. Following adjustments have been made to the sightseeing log. A visual effect for completing an entry for Vista has been changed. So it looks like they're actually going to show the image of what you found. It's not going to be a generic picture. So this is pretty cool. Vistas can now be categorized by expansion. Very good. I like that. And they give you a little counter. So it shows you here on the left here, Realm Reborn. I've got 62 out of 80. I got 18 more to go to finish a Realm Reborn. Having that instead of just the entire book of sightseeing log, having basically a tracker really gives to me a sense of, I have something I can aim for now to complete. I like that visual representation. New emotes have been added. That's awesome. Looks like we got the old ready for battle, ready for a fight. That's awesome. Battle system. Miscellaneous adjustments to action, trait, and status effect descriptions have been made. Looks like they're saying no changes have been made to their effects. Following additions and adjustments have been made to job gauges. The appearance of the dancer's spirit gauge when filled to 50 or higher has been adjusted to be more discernible. Sound effect played when a bard's soul voice gauge reaches 100 will now also play when the gauge reaches 80. Moreover, a new visual indicator has been added for when the gauge reaches 80. Okay. New dungeon has been added. They're keeping that hidden. I guess it's pretty important that they don't reveal what this dungeon is. I guess it's going to be a pretty big spoiler. You can use your trust or duty support NPCs for that. New trial has been added. The Minstrel's Ballad, Endsinger's Aria. So we get to face Endsinger in her extreme mode. I can't wait to have when worlds collide. That's what I've been calling when the worlds smash into each other. I'm hoping that the weapons are pretty sweet. I know we won't get the shiny particle effects, but having a cool looking weapon from these extremes is important to me. I appreciate good glam. The totem received upon completing the trial can be exchanged for rewards by speaking with Nesvaz in Razat Han, and looks like we are getting 2 totems per clear, which is very nice. Only 5 clears, and you can get a weapon from Ensinger. Ultima's Bane Unreal is launching. Looks like the item level sinks to be 565. So it really doesn't matter as long as you're level 90 and get above 565, which is really on the low end of item level. They're really tuning it for that. So expect to see enrages and all that fun stuff. We won't be blowing this out of the water, with our DPS as the as we get new content and better gear. Everything will be tuned specifically for that lower item level. This trial will be unlocked automatically who have completed the Mr. Fantastic Foe prior to patch 6.1. So yeah, the trial will just be there in your raid finder. So with Realm Reborn, players can now be revived in battle after being incapacitated by falling in the following duties. Wow. So all the old, let's see, Naval, Never Reap, that's Heaven's Ward. Realm Reborn, Heaven's Ward. Reborn, Heaven's Ward. So yeah, any place that you can fall and die, there are some places where you can't be revived. They're changing that. So now with Titan Hard, Titan Extreme, Sephiroth is another one I really remember. Bismarck, when you fall, your body, you're just done. You're dead. Can't be revived. They're changing that so now you can revive. So they're making that easier now. That's okay. I mean, the content's so old. I hope they don't change it if they do it for Unreal. I liked when Titan Unreal came, and if you fell, you were dead. They didn't change that. They didn't make that easier. So I appreciate it for the older content. I hope that if these trials come back in Unreal, that it's the old form. I'd like to see it keep the way it was previously, so you maintain that original experience whenever possible. The following adjustments have been made to the battle against Racefogger and Sorkai. The arena platforms will no longer be destroyed. Damage inflicted by Cauterize has been increased. Well, that's disappointing. I liked in that Racefogger fight when, because you have, what is it, like 9 platforms, and they'll dash across the arena and take out like 3 of them, shrinking the amount of space that you have and kind of giving you a sense like, oh, we better hurry, we better get this guy down, otherwise we're not going to have any platforms to really function. Kind of instilling you got a minion rage type thing going on here. The fact that they're removing that arena platform destruction, I feel really changes the fight, in my opinion. Changes the feel of the fight. So I'm not really a big fan of that. Weekly restriction on rewards in Pandemonium Asphodelis has been removed. So already, any normal mode of the current raid in Asphodelis, you want to stock up and get your characters geared out in that normal mode gear, have at it. Get it done. The number of unsung blades of Asphodelis required to exchange for Disco Tombstone has been reduced from 7 to 4, and coupled with the restriction on rewards, do 4 of those Asphodelis 4s, Hesperos, and you've got your Tombstone for a weapon. Awesome. Gunbreaker, Dancer, Reaper, and Sage weapons are now available from coffers that appear after completing Minstrel's Ballad, Thoradin's Reign. What this is telling me is that the models for the ultimate weapons, the new one that's coming out in 6.11, are going to be based off of Thoradin weapons. So this might be the first time where we have one weapon model used 3 different times. So we had the normal drops for Thoradin's weapons. Then we had the glowy ones that you could craft. And now it looks like we're going to get the ultimate version. So we'll have 3 different versions of these Thoradin weapons: normal, crafted glowy, and ultimate. The Alliance Raid Dungeon, Aglaya has been added. This is our 24-man. Looks like we have a nice shot here of Beauregard. Some people like to call him Zeus. But that is Beauregard in Final Fantasy XIV with his big hammer. I can't wait to tackle all the gods. I'm really interested in the story in this. When I first announced Myths of the Realm, I was really excited. I really want to know more about the gods in Final Fantasy XIV as they currently stand. They really haven't had much of a place or even an effect in the story. There was that part in the beginning with Louis Swa trying to rebind Bahamut when he escaped from Dalamud. That ultimately failed. But we really haven't had them as part of our experience. So this hopefully will change that. We'll get to learn a little bit more about the 12. Parties match automatically via the Duty Finder will comprise 1 tank, 2 healers, 5 DPS. That is now standard for all 24-mans. You can only receive 1 reward item per week for completing duties in Aglaya. In the event you are awarded an item from the loot list, you relinquish your right to vie for all remaining items. So you can get 1 item from every single boss because they're all in one instance. So you can get 1 item once a week. That's it. This does not include optional items like minions or mounts that may drop or orchestrion rolls that will drop. This is just for the gear itself. So you can plan out your gear that you want. You may have to run it a couple times if you don't see it, but you get 1 per week, for at least for this patch. Completion reward. Upon completing Aglaya, players will also earn a separate reward once per week. 2 cracked anthro clusters and 1 Aglaya coin. The coin can be exchanged in Raz's hand for items used to enhance equipment purchased with Algan Tomestones of Astronomy. So the upgrade items that were specifically for the raids, the twine, the coating, the roborant, you can now, actually maybe not the roborant, but at least the twine and the coating to upgrade your accessories and your main armor pieces on the left side. You can now do this 24-man once a week, get this coin, turn that coin in for an upgrade item to fill out your raid gear. The items required to enhance equipment purchased with Algan Tomestones of Astronomy, twine, and coating can be purchased from the following vendors. So that not only can, and this kind of confirms that roborant is not going to be part of the coin. It's just the twine and the coating. But you can also now get them from doing hunts and exchanging sacks of nuts, or as I like to say at demonstrating, sacks of nuts. Upgrading equipment. After acquiring the items to enhance your equipment from these players, speak with Kaldeen in Razathan and exchange them for augmented gear of your choice. So you'll take your piece of gear in your inventory and the upgrade item. You'll go to this vendor and exchange both those items for the upgraded piece. The following duties have been added to the Raid Finder: Minstrel's Ballad, Endsinger's Aria, and Ultima's Bane. And out goes Minstrel's Ballad, Zodiac's Fall, and Heideland's Call. Those will just be, instead of the Raid Finder, they'll be moved. They'll be put into the Duty Finder. They're still available for you to queue up for. They're just in a different place now. Players will now receive the Power of the Echo in the event all party members are incapacitated during the following trials: the Dark Inside, Mother Crystal, and the Final Day. Those are the 3 trials, 3 normal trials in Endwalker. I believe, let's see, each time player restarts the aforementioned trial, they'll be granted 10%, up to a maximum of 50. Yeah, so you have to be battle for at least 3 minutes and then fail to get this 10% buff. So it's dying when you're progressing in the fight, and then you get the buff. Zodiac's Fall, and Heideland's Call, which is the extreme versions. They will be getting the Echo as well. 5% effect boost up to a maximum of 25%. And again, you have to live for at least 3 minutes during the fight, and then wipe to get that effect. So you can't just, basically what that 3 minutes is you don't just start and immediately like jump off or immediately try to die to pad that 25% right away. You actually have to play the fight, and then if you die, you get a buff. The following location of enemies in the following areas have been adjusted: Mordona, Thavnair, Ultima Thule. I'm guessing they're trying to make the pathways, the little trails, clear of enemies, is the only thought process in my head for those. Mordona, the path could be, you could have a giant type in the path of the main of a walkway. Walkways, I guess, should be clear, and then if you want to go off the beaten path, then you'll encounter the monsters. And the same for Thavnair and Ultima Thule. That's the only reason I think that's there. Following adjustments have been made to the Duty Roulette Expert. So it looks like all the dungeons are going to be in there that we have for Endwalker, Dead Ends, Smileton, and Stigma, Dreamscape, and they're going to add the new hidden dungeon as part of the Expert. So nothing's being removed from the Expert. We're going from 3 dungeons to 4 dungeons. Required average item level to register for Duty Roulette Expert has been increased from 540 to 560. Very interesting. So you're going to have to do some normal modes? Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay. The following duties have been added to Duty Roulette Mentor. The Porta Decumana, Aglea, and the new dungeon, which is still being hidden. So for those with their crowns, congratulations. You can help guide new players in these new dungeons. When challenging a duty with an unrestricted party, a vote to abandon the duty may now be initiated at any time. So it looks like there's no more wait 5 minutes before you can do a vote abandon. I guess if everybody doesn't like a particular dungeon, everyone just get out of it. The following trials have been added to Stone, Sky, and Sea. Looks like there's just a base level 60, base level 70, base level 80, base level 90. I'm not sure why that's there. That's interesting. And then there's a Stone, Sky, Sea specifically for Ensinger's Aria, which is the new extreme. Adjustments have been made to the graphics collision in certain dungeons from A Realm Reborn. Okay. Adjustments have been made to the following dungeons and trials. Looks like a bunch of dungeons have been adjusted from A Realm Reborn. This might be to facilitate duty support. Coppermill Mines. The content of the battle with Kodos has been adjusted. That's the first boss. The content of the battle with the Icarus Ire has been adjusted. It's the second boss. And the content of the battle with Gygas the Great has been adjusted, which is the third. So all the bosses in Coppermill Mines have been adjusted, which is very interesting. I definitely kind of want to see what these new mechanics and stuff are going to be. That's pretty cool. Certain dungeon mechanics have been adjusted. I think this is all in support of the new system, the duty support system with the NPCs. 1,000 Miles of Total Rock. Certain mechanics in battle with Graphius has been adjusted. Extensive changes to general progression through the dungeon have been implemented. Yeah, the whole layout seems to be kind of changed, and they removed the heavy puddles. So there's like poison puddles on the ground will make you heavy, make it slower for you to move, and I believe they removed those. So looks like a lot of changes have been done. Content of the battle with Lady Amandine has been adjusted. I'm guessing the lanterns is part of that. They're in that fight currently. There are 4 lanterns that pop up in the corners of the room, and everyone needs to go click the lantern to turn it off so you're not getting spammed with AoEs from those lanterns. So with duty support, maybe they found it hard to program those NPCs to take care of these lanterns and they had to remove it maybe. We'll see. After the battle with the Manor Steward and Manor Jester, an object allowing players to warp back to the starting point will now appear, so you don't have to pop return. Some people will do it just out of old habits, but you can now just interact with this object and warp back to the beginning of the mansion. The positioning of certain monsters has been adjusted. Okay. Brave Flocks. Content of battle with Ayatar has been adjusted. That's the last boss, the dungeon at the end of Brave Flocks. I'm guessing, again, that has to do with duty support because of the poison puddles. Maybe... Oh, if you have a tank on that fight, the tank needs to pull the dragon out of the poison, because if the dragon's in the poison, he actually heals. So I could see that being a problem with the duty NPCs. The positioning of certain monsters have been adjusted. The map layout has been adjusted. That's probably important too, because there's a lot of off the beaten paths where you can find treasure chests. So maybe streamlining it so it's more, unfortunately, corridor-like. I like the off-beaten path. If you don't want to interact with it, you don't have to. But looks like they're trying to make everything very similar and homogenized with their map layouts to be very, this is the corridor, this is the path you go. Which makes me sad. There's a lot they could do with dungeons, and it looks like they're adjusting the older content to fall in line with how they're doing it nowadays. So it makes me kind of sad. I want them to. There's so much they could do with dungeons. This just shows me that they're going in the opposite direction, which I wish they would. Dismal Darkhold. The route through the dungeon has been adjusted, and the positioning of certain treasure chests have been changed accordingly. Again, a lot of off the beaten path areas. There's a whole, there's a main path, and there's a whole lower section where there's a couple treasure chests and additional monsters. Most players will just bypass that whole thing, just trying to get to the end. This again, homogenizing it, making it one straight narrow thing, maybe so that you don't miss those treasure chests and get that loot from that dungeon if you choose to go through it. The content with the battle with Korshchai has been adjusted. The difficulty of certain mechanics has been eased during the battle with Eisgenbind. Korshchai, I'm guessing that's the second boss where you have to interact with the cannons. I guess duty support would be an issue doing that. Cape Westwind. Duty has been changed into an instant quest battle to be undertaken solo. So no longer will you get that as part of trials or dungeons, roulettes. You will be doing this solo. No more insta-gib with 8 people. It's just you versus him and whatever they did to change it to make it a solo friendly instance party. So it's kind of sad to see. It is kind of sad to see. I thought that was one of the fun memes during the summer, is when new players and streamers would go and do Cape Westwind. They're like, I hope you learned this fight, man. It's going to be really difficult. I hope you got some time set aside for this instance. And they did. Okay. We're going to learn this fight. I got like an hour set aside for this, we're going to get in there, and he's dead in 30 seconds. So that was always a fun meme to watch and experience with new players and new streamers. That's now gone. So sad panda. Castrum Meridianum. Maximum party size has been reduced from 8 to 4. So now it is a light party instead of a full party. Content of the battle with the Black F has been adjusted. Content of battle with the Magic Vanguard F1. Livia has also been adjusted. And extensive changes to general progression have been implemented. Okay. I feel like with these changes to both the Castrum and Praetorium, I feel like I'm now going to be in a position where I don't mind doing main scenario roulette. Yeah, I'm probably going to put this as part of my, leveling and getting XP for all of my alts. It may not take less, but it's going to be a more intimate experience, I guess. Yeah, good times. The battle with the Ultima weapon has been removed from the Praetorium, has been reinstated in the new trial, the Porta Decumana. Players that completed the main scenario quest, the ultimate weapon as part of 6.1 will now have access to that in 6.1. Players that have accepted and not completed the main scenario quest, the ultimate weapon, must abandon the quest and reaccept the quest upon release of 6.1, because they're separating these two parts, the Praetorium and the ultimate weapon fight. That was all part of one big instance. So now there's going to be like 3 quest parts for this. So you'll have to abandon your quest and re-pick it up to progress in the story. Cape Westwind and battle with La Habre and Praetorium have been removed, and each has been reinstated as separate instance battles. The amount of Alcan tombstones earned in the following duties has been adjusted. Looks like Castrum and Praetorium down from 200 to 100 and 150. Because they're broken up, they're smaller. You know, they're not going to get as big a reward. Also, in Realm Reborn, the following changes have been made to duties unlocked by using Tales of Adventure: A Realm Reborn. Cape Westwind is removed. Porta de Cumana has been added. Okay, because yeah, Cape Westwind is no longer a duty. It's just a solo instance battle as part of the story. Oh, the duties listed within Duty Roulette main scenario have been changed as follows. Before it was Castrum and Praetorium, and now it's going to be Castrum, Praetorium, and the Porta. So that's cool. I probably will take part in main scenario now that they're kind of breaking it up and streamlining the experience. Rewards have been adjusted. Looks like we're going to get more poetics for doing main scenario roulette. Same amount of aphorism and astronomy, but for those that are looking to pad their poetics, it's gonna, you're gonna get a little bit more. Cool, a little bit more incentives for those leveling up those characters. It will take longer for the screen to darken after a party KO during the following duties: first, second, third, fourth circle, and during Savage and Endsinger's aria. This is an experimental feature that will allow players a grace period to better identify and understand the reasons behind the party KO. It may be applied to other duties or otherwise adjusted in the future. Very interesting. I will say I have experience with this where like maybe an AoE hits us and we all just die and the screen immediately goes to black once the last player is KO'd. At which point you're like, well, what the heck just happened? I don't know if that's going to really change that feeling. I'm not sure how to feel about this. I mean, it's insignificant in the long run. I don't know, it's kind of weird. It is pretty jarring when that does happen, when you die and the screen just goes to black all of a sudden. So maybe that jarring feeling will go away when you're all dead, and then you're like, oh darn, and then it goes to black. I don't know. That maybe that's what they're thinking. That is a confusing change. As of Shadowbringers, a measure to prevent illicit activity, the timing of contact prohibition and escape prohibition in the Epic of Alexander has been adjusted. I have not done the Epic of Alexander, so I'm not sure what this illicit activity is. If you do know, drop a comment down below. Would love to know what that means. The following adjustments have been made to the Boshan Southern Front and Zadnor. A lost finds cache has been added near the starting point of the Battle of Castrum Lacus Latori. So that's good. I always found it a little weird that you join Castrum Lacus Latori and you couldn't adjust your lost actions at all. So now they'll put a cache there at the beginning, so now you can do that. A lost finds cache has been added near the starting point of the Dalrida. Also on the other point. Experience points earned by completing both Castrum the Castrum Battle of Castrum Lacus Latori has been increased. Experience points earned by completing the Dalrida has also been increased. So previously, if you went in there for leveling purposes, doing Lacus Latori or the Dalrida wasn't as effective as staying out in the main part in Southern Front and Zadnor and just doing the skirmishes and fights out in the main area. So when they popped, you're like, oh, I don't want to do that because that's less experience for grinding out my alt jobs I'm getting from 71 to 80. The following duties have been removed. The Feast. Bye-bye, Feast. Hello, Crystalline Conflict. Rival Wings will be temporarily unavailable due to balance adjustments. Yeah, they're doing a whole PvP rework here, adjusting abilities and roles and all that fun stuff. So Rival Wings currently going to be offline. New type of PvP match between small teams, 5v5 Crystalline Conflict has been added. I'm hyped to actually try to get into this, especially with the new battle pass system, both series and seasons. Yeah, it should be very interesting. Looks like there's going to be 2 maps. The Palastria kind of looks like it's in Charlayan. Kind of Olympic type feeling. There's actually more than 2. There's 3. The Volcanic Heart. That looks like it's in the Ruby Sea next to that volcanic mountain. It looks pretty sweet. And then Cloud 9, which looks like it's up in the Sea of Clouds. Oh, Crystalline Conflict is open to those who have completed the quest A Pup No Longer for their Grand Company. So you do need to have your Grand Company unlocked, but it's not really part of the Grand Companies. It's not like you're going to go into a Crystalline Conflict match, Maelstrom versus Twin Adder. After unlocking Crystalline Conflict, proceed to the following quest for an explanation of the relevant duties and rules of engagement. So there is a quest to access this. It looks like it's called the Crystal Lines Call. Looks like that's in the Wolf's Den Pier. That's the PvP area off of Limsa. The rules of engagement for Crystalline Conflict are outlined below. Casual matches results have no bearing on your ranking in Crystalline Conflict. So it's going to be unranked and ranked. Ranked part of a season. You want to get a higher rank for end of season rewards. What those are, I have no idea at the moment. Maybe they're in this patch notes. There's custom matches. This will also have no bearing on your ranking in CC. And then ranked matches. You register solo via the Duty Finder, and this will influence your ranking. So it doesn't look like it's teams. Looks like it is solo based. So good luck if you want to get your rank up and get those end of season rewards. Basic rules. Bidding a match, players will be divided into Team Astra, and Team Umbra and transported to their respective starting points. After a 30-second waiting period, the match will begin. All right, I need a quick drink. Getting a little parched here. These are big patch notes. It's a big patch. Oh. There are no role requirements for Crystalline Conflict parties. However, matchmaking will ensure that no two players have the same job within a single party. And there's enough jobs in the game where this shouldn't be really an issue. But the fact that it's role-less, you could have 4 healers and 1 tank. And then with the rebalancing, it shouldn't be much of an issue if you go up against 5 DPS. So hopefully that's, I'm hoping that's how it is. You get the 4 healers and 1 tank, and you see 5 DPS on the other side. You're like, oh, I'm just gonna quit. There's no hope. I hope there's a hope. I hope there's a good balance to be had, so that's fun. I don't want people just quitting because they see it's unbalanced. Chatting. Only quick chat is available during casual and ranked matches, so no shouting out to everyone and cursing people out there. Just the custom quick chat. Whatever they have in that system to allow you to talk to party members in the other teams. So, retaliation. Incapacitated players will be returned to their base after a short delay. There will be allowed to rejoin combat with their HP and MP fully restored and all action recast timers reset. What we did see in the little demo during the live letter, though, the more often you die, the longer it takes for you to come back. I'm not sure if that was part of the feast or not, but we did see, Yoshi P started at 10 seconds, and after his third death, it took 13 seconds. So you want to not die. Level and item level. When participating in Crystal Conflict, all player attributes will be updated to their PvP counterparts. So everything's normalized as far as level and item level, to make for a better PvP experience. You're not going to be rolled off and insta-gibbed by a super raid force, with their raid gear when you just hit 90 and you don't have any sort of gear. Everything will be normalized and balanced for PvP. The use of the following is prohibited while participating in Crystal Conflict. You can't change your job or class. No chocobo companions, no mounts, no teleportation, return items, or gear changes. So what you go in with is what you are. So make sure you're on the right job. Again, the gear changes shouldn't really matter as everything's normalized. Yeah. Abandoning matches. Players who abandon a Crystalline Conflict match will receive a penalty. Players so penalized will be unable to use the Duty Finder for 30 minutes. So it's not... it doesn't look like it's a... It's just like the regular instance. If you leave in the middle of a dungeon, you're just like, no, I don't want to do Orm Valley, and just peace out. You don't have access to the Duty Finder for 30 minutes. So it's just in line with PvP as it is for the regular instance, which is good. You get in there, it's a 5-minute match, just deal with it. Really, just do the 5-minute match. You win, you lose, fine, whatever. You might be thinking differently if it's a ranked match, but this is the penalty. Players inactive for over a period of 2 minutes will automatically be removed from play. Players who remain inside the D with less than the required number of party members or participating in a custom match will not receive a penalty. So if one person bails out, the other 3 can then bail out themselves without incurring a penalty. It's that first person that breaks the match that's going to get the 30-minute penalty. Victory conditions. To win Crystalline Conflict, one team must move the tactical crystal from the center of the field to the goal point. If neither team accomplishes this during the time limit, the match will proceed into overtime. The team with a greater progress score must keep the entire opposing team out of the bounds of the tactical crystal for 3 seconds to win. The team with a lesser progress score must beat the opponent's progress score during overtime to win. Oh. Okay, so if you're on the winning side currently during overtime, you have 75%. The opposing team has 25%. If you're on the winning side, you keep the opposing team out of the crystal bubble for 3 full seconds, you win. If you don't, though, and you constantly have someone in there and they're able to move the crystal, you don't lose automatically if you're currently on the winning side. You will lose if the losing side manages to get the crystal past your 75%. So for overtime, it's much easier for the winning team to finish it off and actually win than it is for the losing team to take control and move the crystal back. Oh, the tactical crystal. The all-important object placed in the arena's center point is called the tactical crystal. The tactical crystal will remain bound until the first 30 seconds of the match have passed. Once the tactical crystal is unbound, a ring will appear at its base. Should one team be fully in control of this ring with no members of the opposing team present, that team will be able to move the crystal. The crystal can only be moved along the crystal line, a dedicated path within the arena. Its movement will be halted when combatants from both teams are present within its bounds. When combatants from neither team are present, the crystal will move back towards the center point. Very interesting. It won't just stay put. It'll actually drift back to its center if no one is in the crystal bubble area. Tactical crystal speed. Should the tactical crystal be wrestled from your team's control and you manage to reclaim it, the crystal will travel faster when moving back through a stretch of the line your team has moved it once before. Even if your team has failed to claim the crystal for the entirety of the match, once your team has gained control, the crystal will move at increased speed until it is returned to the center point. Okay, so if the opposing team takes it to 75% and you are able to wrest control of it, it will have increased speed to get back to the center. If your opposing team gets it back from you at that point, it will move at increased speed up to the 75%. Is how I'm reading this. I'm very interested to get into this PvP match and really dive in and see how this all works. But that's how I'm interpreting what they're saying here. Checkpoints and progression. Checkpoints can be found halfway between the center point and each team's goal. Upon reaching a checkpoint, the tactical crystal will stop moving. The team attempting to clear the checkpoint must remain in the crystal's ring until the clear progress gauge reaches 100%. The gauge will only increase so long as that team holds control of the ring. A greater majority of party members in the ring will hasten the gauge's progression. Should the opposing team have a greater majority at any point, the tactical crystal will begin moving toward the opposing team's goal. However, any progress made in clearing the checkpoint will not be lost. Okay, so if you get to the checkpoint and you get up to 50%, but then you lose that control of the crystal at that point, once you get back to the crystal, the checkpoint, it will still be at 50%. You just need to get it from 50 to 100. So you don't. Okay, I'm learning. Advanced rules. Crystalline conflict arenas include a variety of tactically useful elements to make matches more dynamic. Palastria and Volcanic Heart feature unique paths suited to running. Entering these sprint zones will grant the effect of swift sprint, greatly increasing player movement speed. So you got these side tracks that seem to be glowing. They'll give you sprint to get down to a lower area from your initial spawn point. Get you back in the fight quicker. Also, so you don't have to run around the entire path. Interesting. Jump glyphs. Cloud 9 is equipped with jump glyphs. Stepping on a jump glyph will rapidly transport you to a specific location on the field. That's pretty cool. The volcanic heart periodically erupts, scattering self-destructing bombs across the field. So it looks like Bomberman. That's pretty cool. Those who fail to avoid the explosive radii will take damage. Bomb cores will remain at the site of bomb's destruction, granting those who acquire them bonuses to damage dealt and limit gauge increases. Very interesting. So it'll explode, and then you can pick up the core so you yourself can do more damage and get your limit break off sooner. Turbulence. Players cast up into the air by Cloud9's periodic turbulence will take damage upon being returned unceremoniously to the ground. However, they may acquire black chocobo feathers while in the air, granting them a soft landing and nullifying the damage. The locations of black chocobo feathers are indicated by markers on the ground. Those who do not wish to go flying can negate their effects of turbulence by casting guard. Turbulence also leaves behind a twister at the site of where it occurred and can be confirmed on the map. Stumbling into these twisters will result in damage and knockback. I like that there's little nuances to each map. I'm glad it's not just one map. There's 3 maps, and that there's little nuances to each one. So they're not just... Because that would be really boring to just have one map and just the crystalline part, the crystal tower part that moves along. That'd be the only thing part of the entire map. So I like that there's little nuances here and there. Medicine kits. Each arena comes equipped with a medicine kit. Accessing these kits will restore 50% of a player's HP, and each can only be claimed by one player. Medicine kits cannot be claimed by those whose HP is at 100%. Okay, so if you're at 100%, you can't pick it up to prevent someone else that's at 50% from getting it. Once a kit has been claimed, a placement will be generated after a set period of time has passed. Seasons. Seasons are periods of time in which players compete to earn the highest tier and crystalline credit ranks possible. Announcements will be made on the lodestone marking the beginning and ending of each season. They did try to explain basically that halfway through a patch's life cycle, from the beginning to the midpoint will be one season, and then from the middle to the beginning of the next patch will be another season. So there will typically be 2 seasons per patch, which is be about 8 weeks or 2 months. Ranked matches. The bronze through diamond tiers are divided further into risers. The number of risers per tier varies. So at per what you can see here on the image, bronze has bronze 1, 2, 3, silver 1, 2, 3, gold 1, 2, 3, 4, platinum 1, 2, 3, 4, and diamond 1 through 5. If you get into bronze 3 by winning 7 consecutive matches, you still can be knocked all the way down to bronze 1. But if you get into silver, you can't be knocked back down into bronze. So the risers is kind of like an XP gauge, but once you get into the next tier, silver, gold, platinum, you can't be dropped down a level. Rising stars. This basically, you need to win 3 matches. You'll get a star for each match. Once you get your 4th, you get into the next riser. So, yeah, from bronze to, so you start at 3. Yeah, you start at 3 and you work your way 3 to 2 to 1. So when you get to bronze 1, but then if you fail, you go back down to bronze 2. If you're in bronze 1, you go to silver 3, but then if you lose, you still stay at silver 3, is what they're explaining here. New reward system applicable to all PvP content. Series milestones has been added. This is the series rewards, the PvP, the battle pass, basically. The series milestone system provides unique rewards to players who participate in PvP during a given series. A period of time lasting the duration of one major patch. So where seasons, you'll get 2 per patch cycle. The series will be 1 per patch cycle. So you'll have 4 months to finish a series, a whole battle pass, which is a decent amount of time. 8 weeks. You're interested in PvP just a little bit. You do it once a day. I believe you should be able to get the full 30 ranks. The maximum series level is 30, though you may continue to accumulate XP and extra levels after that. What rewards are from that, I have no idea. They didn't really explain that in any of the live letters. Each series lasts for a predetermined period of time. After a series ends, a new one will begin and available rewards will change accordingly. Though rewards earned during one series can still be claimed during the next. Make sure to check your series milestones and claim any earned rewards via the PvP profile. So when a new series comes, the old series will be part of a store. Once that second set of series is done and that set needs to go into the store, the first set of rewards in that store will then be removed. So there is a small sense of fear of missing out. If you don't play PvP for 8 months, you're going to miss out on some rewards from a certain series. I wish that wasn't the case, wish it was static. I'd love to be able to, I have to miss an entire expansion, but then want to come back and catch up, I can do so at my leisure, and not be rushed to try to catch up on stuff and then miss out completely. It feels a little bad, but you do have 8 months. So if you do want to take a few month break, feel free to. But do know that these will eventually go bye-bye. Trophy crystals. New currency. Trophy crystals have been added as a series reward. Trophy crystals can be exchanged at the Wolves Den Pier for a variety of items, which include previous series or previous battle pass rewards from the previous patch. The following changes have been made to the Wolves Pier. Shop NPCs and available wares have been adjusted. Crystalline Conflict Attendant offering an explanation of the rules has been added. Following duties have been added to the PvP section of the Duty Finder: Crystalline Conflict, Casual, and Ranked Match. And then there's Custom Match. Again, only Ranked Match is used if you want to increase your rank and get season rewards. Party Finder Custom Match options for the feast have been replaced for those for Crystalline Conflict. In accordance with the removal of the feast and implementation of Crystalline Conflict, Quick Chat options have been adjusted. So what's available in Quick Chat now is sorry, going ahead, falling back, moving crystal, push crystal, recovering target. The following options have been removed. You can go through those. The following Quick Check options have been adjusted. And basically these Quick Check options are basically things you put on your hotbar because you can't actually chat. So you push the button and you'll tell your group, you're moving the crystal, you're pushing the crystal forward. Thank you, nice job. They don't want toxicity in PvP. So the chat function is basically turned off and you can only use these quick chat hotbar features. So in accordance with the removal of the feast and implementation of Crystalline Conflict, the following UI elements have been adjusted. So you can see your PvP profile in the pop-up window. Feast is gone. Crystalline Conflict is now been added. Season 1 of Crystalline Conflict will begin with the patch. Again, should last about 8 weeks. Get your rank on if you want to try to get some rewards. I'm hoping that diamond is enough. I don't think I'm going to be playing enough to and playing hard enough to get into the crystal section. We'll see. Collaboration with the television series Garo has been made available once again. So it's been 5 years since it was initially launched, and it lasted for like 3 or 4 years. I'm happy that this is back. I'm glad that they're incorporating Gunbreaker and Reaper gear. Samurai, Red Mage, Gunbreaker, Dancer, Reaper, Sage achievement titles have been added. Totally awesome. I'm glad to see that they're bringing that back. I don't know what it took to make that happen, but hooray, it's back. Like having the old content come back and for new players and new jobs. Items. New items have been added. This first picture here, this front, back. I believe this is the gear that you can get from the 24-man. Looks pretty nifty. Very golden, very shiny. They did say in the live letter that there's some effects with this armor where light will reflect differently depending on the light source. So it will shine differently in different areas and different poses and how you're orientated yourself against the light source. So that's pretty cool. I think this set looks really nice. I really like this set. Definitely a big change from the Nier set, which was really, really bland. I did not like the Nier set. This looks pretty sweet. New recipes have been added, so it looks like you have some casual overcoat and skirt and pants. Front, back, front, back. Recipes added in 6.1 will be listed at a later date, probably with the full patch notes on Monday. The following item names have been changed. Fortune Egg to Chipped Fortune Egg. Okay. Classification of the following items have been changed to rare. Goblin Larva and Kidragora, which were 2 minions. I'm not sure what that means. Has been changed to rare. I'm not sure what that's a little weird. Following items can now be equipped regardless of gender. Cool. Some things off the top of my head that I can see that might be interesting. The Rathlo set. Male and female versions can be worn by either sex, either gender. That's awesome. Far Eastern Smock. But the Rathlo sets are really awesome looking. The fact that it doesn't matter which gender you are, you can now pick up both sets and look a little bit different. That's pretty cool. An item exchange to upgrade crafted item level 580 equipment to item level 590 has been added. Definitely be on the lookout for that for those that are in the ultimate races. You want to get your extra 580 accessory or any crafted items up to 590. This might make that crafted gear, maybe not, because 600 is a boost. So, but you get the option to upgrade and make your savage rating a little bit easier. The animations for the following Disciple of Hand actions have been adjusted. Observe. So I guess you're going to pick up the ball and look at it, and you're going to observe it. Sure. You will be able to check the required collectability of crafted items during synthesis and trial synthesis. Oh, so they're going to put a marker here of the 3 levels of collectability and getting rewards. So you won't have to guess, oh, did I need 1300 or did I need 1500 to get a certain tier? So it'll be marked on your meter, the levels that you need to get to. That's pretty cool. I like that. The animations for the following Disciple of Land actions have been adjusted. Botanist and Miner Scour and Meticulous Woodsman, Meticulous Prospector. And Fisher, Powerful Hook Set and Precision Hook Set. Sure, okay. Icon for the Botanist action Collector's Focus has been changed. New items have been added to gathering points. Always happens with each patch. As they increase what can be crafted, they need new materials for crafting. New fish have been added. Requirements for catching fish via spearfishing have been added to the fishing log. Okay, cool. So again, with the change of the leaves guiding us to where we can go, where we need to go for certain fish, they're going to also put in the fishing log requirements for catching certain fish in spearfishing. More information is good. I appreciate more information. Text color for custom deliveries have been adjusted. Fishers will earn the greatest possible reward when submitting large size fish for custom deliveries. Okay, cool. The following adjustments have been made to Glamour Plates. So they're buffing, or not buffing, they're increasing the amount of Glamour Plates from 15 to 20. Glamour Plates can now be used in any sanctuary. Glamour Plates still may not be used during duties regardless of location. But this expands it from just the capital cities to anywhere there's an aetheryte. You'll know you're in a sanctuary because you have that little moon icon next to your XP bar. Awesome. So you can be there's 2 to 3 areas per zone where you can change your Glamour Plates. I like that. That's good. New mounts have been added. This one looks amazing. I'm betting this is the mount from Endsinger's Aria, the new Extreme coming out. That is a pretty cosmic looking bird cat. That is pretty awesome. I like it. New Chogo Barding has been added. Is that an Omega Barding? That is pretty sweet though. I like that Barding. New minions have been added. Yay, minions! Look at that puppy. So cute. The following additions and adjustments have been made to fashion accessories. New fashion accessories have been added, so you can actually wear glasses or shades. This does not replace your headpiece. This is part of the accessories. So like the parasols, they will be shown invisible and won't replace any piece of gear, which is pretty freaking cool. The change pose emote is now available while using fashion accessories. Very cool for those that want to take some snapshots in different poses with your parasols. The layout of fashion accessories window has been adjusted. Additionally, an icon for the change pose emote has been added in that system there. The listed order of customizable options during character creation has been adjusted. This adjustment has been applied to character customization after using a file of Fantasia or when selecting your retainer's appearance. Oh, very cool. Following additions, adjustments made to market boards. New subsection of miscellany, registerable miscellany, has been added for items that register something else, such as minions or orchestrion roles. You will be able to filter search results to show only unattained, unregistered items. This is awesome. So I am a big minion collector. You know, I have almost 360 minions. If I go to the market board looking for a minion, all the minions are listed, and I'm like, well, do I have that one? I think I have. I'm pretty sure I have that one. When you have like 360, sometimes you lose track of what you have, what you're missing. I don't keep a side list here. This allows me in game to filter and show me on the market board which ones I'm missing that I can purchase. This is very cool. Like it very much. This also applies to Christian roles or anything that's registerable. That's very awesome. I like this addition. Thank you very much. The subcommands add to wish lists and add to favorites will now display the number of currently registered entries. Should the number of entries exceed the allowed amount, you will become unable to use the subcommand. Okay, cool. So if you're looking for a minion that's not there, you can add a wish list to it. Number of registered entries versus total number of available slots will appear at the log window. Okay, sure. The following additions and adjustments have been made to retainers. Level ranges for ventures are now ordered from highest level to lowest level. New ventures have been added. New items can now be obtained from quick exploration ventures. Will now be notified if items placed on the market become prohibited or obsolete. You may now create retainer comments. Oh, very cool. And they show an example here. Comment. This one holds my gear. Well, I kind of do the same thing. I can tab one of my retainers like this one holds my materia. Very cool. The following additions and adjustments have been made to achievements and titles. New achievements and titles have been added, and certain duties will now count towards the completion of achievements. Looks like a lot of the tank stuff. Yep, all the tank stuff. They're going to add Minstrel's Ballad, Endsinger's Aria, and Ulta's Bane Unreal, so you can get those tank ones. And then further tank ones, looks like they're adding the 24-man and the new dungeon to that. In order to more easily distinguish between completed and unfinished achievements, the background color of unfinished achievements have been adjusted. So this is before. You can tell there's very, very little difference between the two. The ones that are completed, you see it's a little bit blacker in the text, where the ones that are uncompleted are primarily just beige. After, there's now more defined difference between completed and uncompleted. So it's much more highlighted, the ones that are completed. So I appreciate that. Adventure Plate Beta. This is where Endgame has changed. Endgame is no longer just Glamour. Glamour is now important to facilitate the new endgame, which is Adventurer Plates. I can foresee people spending hours upon hours adjusting their Adventurer Plates and their profile pictures, their portraits. because these portraits are going to be shown during PvP. Everyone's going to have a unique portrait. You can really customize your adventurer plate for your own personality. There's lots of different backgrounds. They're showing 3 different options here. These are the same ones from the live letter. There's going to be so many different options. Collect them from all sorts of different instances and content. It's going to be a pretty cool feature. I myself probably won't dive deep into it, but I can foresee a lot of people really dumping out so many hours to create something out of this world and unique with these adventurer plates and their portraits. You can adjust so much with the plate designs. You can adjust a lot with your profile, listing what your favorite job is, your favorite title, what you like to do as far as your playstyle, be they dungeons, trials, crafting, RP. You can even list your active hours. So if someone's like, I want to know when he's around, as a friend, I want to know when this guy's available. So maybe I'll log in and they'll be there. So you can list, the time during the weekdays and the time during the weekends when you're most likely to be online. That's pretty cool. Although this might lead to stalker situations like, I looked at your profile plate. Actually, speaking of that, you can actually set your adventurer plate to public, to friends only, and to absolutely hidden and private. So if you don't want anyone to see this when I'm online function, you can set your adventurer plate to private. That way you don't have stalker situations. So they did already think of that. That's pretty cool. You can attach there's so many different options with portraits and adventure plates, and it's also part of your gear sets. So you can make one different adventurer plate for each one of your gear sets. People are going to spend so much time on this. It's absolutely crazy. Dream fitting. A feature allowing your warrior light to try on items from the online store. This does not mean that the online store is in game. It's still separate, its own special website. But this is getting us one step closer. So you have to go to your inn, lie in your bed, and you see that there's an option here for dream fitting, and it allows you to try on the online store gear. You can mess around with the different pieces, and also have it fit with the gear you're currently wearing to see if it will fit and match, or how you would want to use some of that online gear that you can purchase with real world money. An option to automatically target enemies when executing target-based attacks has been added. So auto target according to priority. Auto target priority. Enable full auto target. Interesting. That might be really nice with, like, when I'm playing Black Mage, sometimes targeting an appropriate target, like during fates, I'm like, oh, this one's killed, and now I got to tab through to find an appropriate target. This one maybe auto target something for me. That's interesting. I kind of like that. Keep you in the flow of combat. Yes, Flynn. So much quality. So much going on with these patch notes in this patch. It's absolutely insane. The following adjustments have been made to NPC accompaniment system. As long as you remain in the same area, you will no longer become separated from accompanying NPCs when using the Aethernet or riding mounts. Thank you. Thank you so much. The locations of conversation points will now appear on the map. Also very cool. So you don't have to be wandering around like, well, where do I go? Where do I go? Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. I like both of those changes. That was something that we talked about on the Relic Grind with Mr. Byrne and with Kronos. Yeah. Nice change. I appreciate that. The display of gear set names has been adjusted to reflect job and item level individually. So, okay, that's cool. The following additions and adjustments have been made to the currency window. So bicolor gemstones and trophy crystals will now be on the currencies page. The currency settings function has been added, allowing you to customize which currency is displayed on the HUD. So you get 5 options to choose. I'm not sure what all different ones are available. But on the example here, they're showing gills, serpent seals, MGP, bicolor gemstones. Ventures is definitely a part of it. Trophy, currency. So you get to show 5, and you get to show, it's your choice of what 5 you get to show. That's okay. That's cool. The following subcommands have been added to the dying interface: search for item and link. Okay. When traveling to a free destination or using Aetheroid tickets to teleport, the amount of gil expended would no longer appear in the log window. Okay. System notifications, including confirmation of market sales, will no longer display during quest or duty related cutscenes. I always find that to be very, immersion breaking. You're in this cutscene and you see your leather has sold for 5,000 gil. I'm so taken out of it. Much appreciate that. Don't break my immersion. The new renewal period for mentor certification has ended. Players who have not renewed their certification after release of patch 6.0 will no longer be mentors. However, they may be recertified provided they meet the current certification requirements. So you had a amount of time, those 4 months when Endwalker launched, to get the new certification requirements. If you have not met those yet, you are no longer a mentor. But you still can become mentor by meeting the new requirements. New dungeons are available in Explorer mode. Looks like we have Heavensward dungeons. All the Heavensward dungeons. So if you want to go into a dungeon and explore it and look around, take screenshots, pop those limit breaks, just play around in dungeons without having to worry about it, all the Heavensward dungeons are available, along with the new dungeon that is yet to be named. The duties that can be recorded have changed. Does anybody actually use the recorder? Does anybody use it? I don't use it. It's such a limited function. It's just a weird function in it. So as of 6.1, only the Mother Crystal, the Final Day, and Asphodelos Force Circle Savage are available to be recorded. Again, only 3 instances. It's retarded. It's just the worst function available. It's never been for current content, so it's been useless for people who could have made use of it. Absolutely, Flynn. I agree. I don't understand the point of the duty recorder. If it's not usable in current content, I just don't understand its point. The following adjustments have been made to the Duty Finder. Register via Duty Support has been added, and Register via Trust has been added. Again, that's all part of now the same UI element, which is Duty Support. So it's all together in one window. The following additions have been made to the Trust interface. A button linking to the Duty Finder has been added. A button linking to Duty Support has been added. Icons allowing you to check availability of NPC avatar glamours have been added. You can change the glamours of your NPCs. Glamours are unlocked for NPC avatars who have attained level 80. You may change them via the glamour icons or subcommand from them. That is awesome. So you could put Yestola in a bikini. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. A check mark will appear on the icon of items that have already been obtained or registered. Oh, that's from the market board. Okay, cool. Yes. Again, having a listing, knowing what I've already gotten is absolutely awesome as part of the market board. Very much appreciate this change and quality of life. Thank you so much. In the event a player spends 30 consecutive days outside of their homeworld by means of the world visit system, they will be automatically returned to their homeworld upon the next login. Okay. Additions have been made to system configuration interface for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. Draw quality. Use low detail models on distant objects. The default settings for LOD will be on for both for PlayStation 4 and off for PlayStation 5. Okay. The wireless controller settings option under the sound in the system configuration menu has been renamed to DualSense DualShock 4 settings. The following options have been added to the character configuration menu. This is for the auto target system that they've implemented. The following options have been removed from character configuration. Enable target tab. Target settings. Enable auto target when no target specified. Okay. Wireless controllers have become compatible with certain operating systems. Mac, and Mojave, Catalina, and Big Sur. Compatible controllers, DualSense, Xbox Series X and S wireless controllers. Very awesome. Go Mac. If you're using a Mac, I'm sorry for you. I am. Get a PS5 for crying out loud or something. Anyways, the following test commands have been added. Draw, sheath, determined, content, adventure plate, and portrait. Additions have been made to the auto translation dictionary. Additions have been made to PlayStation 4 and 5 autocomplete dictionary. New trophies have been added. I am so happy that with Shadowbringers that they added trophy support back. They had trophies back for A Realm Reborn, and then they didn't add anything for Heaven's Award, didn't add anything for Stormblood. They're going ham with the trophies now that, you know, Shadowbringers and Endwalker, and I'm glad that they're continuing to support adding new trophies as more content comes out. Very much appreciated as a console player myself. New music, sound effects, and voices have been added. Always love new music. Soken is a musical god at this point. I put him, it may not be up there with Umatsu, but he's like, it may be just a step behind him, but he's still up in that tier. He's amazing. The immersed spatial audio is now compatible with multi-channel sound cards. Upon enabling immersed spatial audio, the equalizer mode will be automatically set to standard. And finally, accounts with Itchery subscriptions can now create up to 8 characters per world. Character limit per physical data center has not been changed. And physical data centers are divided between Japanese, North American, European, and Oceanian regions. That is the end of the preliminary patch notes. Full patch notes, again, will be out on Monday. We'll have more about job adjustments. We'll have a specific video on Monday specifically for the job adjustments. We're not going to go into anything else with those patch notes because basically we're just rehashing what we're doing today. If you haven't, follow me on Twitch and on Twitter, all at Tarkoth Gaming. But until next time, you take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I will see you soon. End of line. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and massage that like button, drop a comment down below, and hit subscribe for more content. Until next time, take care of yourselves, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. End of line.